Yo, yo,
Yo, what's good, man?
I'm all good. How are you?
All good as well.
Good, man. We're a man down again.
Yeah, Jay is in Rome, right? He's in
Rome.
Rome
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think he's in Rome this weekend. Little
on a
holidays,
little
little holiday
vacation.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you been on?
This week, this week's been locked in, dialed in. It's been a good week. Just been making tons and tons of tracks, different ideas and stuff.
Hmm.
Just trying to figure out my sound within like the electronic world. So every day, just been making stuff and kind of just in that zone, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice one.
Plus
And that
getting
work
out
for.
videos as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. What kind of videos have you been working on?
So I dropped the China one with Buki Beats,
That was
which is
sick, by
doing
the way.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good
Cheers,
one.
man. She's really, really, really good. Super
She's really
talented.
funny, man. She's really like, yeah, she's really good on camera.
Yeah,
She's really entertaining.
yeah, good energy.
Yeah.
And then I dropped, I don't know if you saw, but Logic Pro. Apple released the new Logic Pro, Logic Pro 11,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it's quite good. I like it. It's got a lot more like AI tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
That's
really
good.
focused on AI in their update. So now we've got the stem splitter, which is similar to FL, but then
Hmm.
also like AI generated melodies, like like the MIDI, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay. Well, it literally just generates the whole MIDI for you.
Pretty much, you kind of it has a few parameters and a few different things that you can choose. Like it's got names, but it's essentially just like the style of how they play
Mm.
and like the mood, I guess you could say. And then you can randomize it to get something. It's still like early stages, but I think that it's gonna get better
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
No, that's good. That's sick.
So it looks promising.
Mm. I think FL had a. I don't know if they dropped it yet, but it was part of like the beta version of one of the updates, and they had like I don't think it was like a melody, like a full melody generator, but it was like a chord generator in the piano roll.
Hmm.
So yeah, you could just go like open up a window, and then you tell it what chord, what scale, and what kind of vibe, and then you just kind of randomize it until you get something that
Yeah.
you like, and then yeah, you just kind of work off of that. But yeah, I
Is it
can't lie.
usable?
I think so. Yeah, I've only used it like once or twice, but I don't know about you. But I mean, maybe I'll use it in the future when maybe I get if I can't think of any ideas. But I don't know about you. I'm always
Hmm.
I don't know. I just like starting. If I'm going to start from scratch, I'll just start from scratch. I won't really think to like use something like that. I don't know. Would
Fair
you
enough, man.
would you find
I
yourself using
mean,
it?
I would like to use it more for sure, but it's not there yet. I couldn't see a way to because all the chords that it was generating was just sounding very poppy at the same time.
Mm.
And I need it to have like that certain flair. Like if I want something dark, I need it to sound dark, not like dark poppy.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah. I know what you
But all
mean.
the chords kind of sounded like a bit too generic. But if it was updated and it got really good, then yeah, for sure. I don't really see like how it's different for me from dragging in a MIDI or dragging in a loop.
Yeah. No, I heard that. Yeah.
So
I guess
as
maybe
long
I'll
as it
kind
gets
of.
better, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the thing in it. Like, it takes too much like tweaking anyway to even. It's supposed to be a time saver in it. So like, I feel like when you use it
Hmm.
at the minute, it's like you still end up having to like mess around with it and get it how you want it to sound. So
For
you may as well
sure.
just start from scratch at the minute. But yeah,
I
maybe at
think
one
it'd be a
point.
while before. Yeah, no, I think it would be
Yeah,
a while before like you tell the melody exactly what you want, then it spits out something that is 100% usable without any tweaking.
yeah, yeah. No,
When
I
we
hear
get to
that.
that stage, that's like a crazy stage. But for now, I think it's still just like an idea generator.
Mm, yeah, definitely. I wonder if like it'll
Mm.
get to if it with if I wonder what would separate people from the pack when it gets to that point because everyone will be able to. Well, I guess it's just it wouldn't even be about music. It'd be like how well can you type a prompt at that point.
True. Possibly. I still think it would be about creativity though, because We even see it with some producers, right? They use a really good loop, but then they put their drums on it, and it still sounds kind of amateur.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It
true.
still doesn't have that feeling.
Yeah.
I think you still got to be somewhat creative, somehow still have some taste, and
Hmm.
maybe it just comes to like you have to be really good at manipulating audio.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess it'll only push like the really good producers to just take it to the next level. Because I know what you mean. Like anyone can make music now, like with Splice and Arcade and
Hmm.
everything. But it's still like the end product. You still need to have that ear for it. Otherwise, you just kind
Yeah,
of throwing sounds together that maybe don't match up or don't go well together. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
man. What you been on?
Um, just the community stuff, and then the Type Beat channel. Just kind of been keeping an eye on that, which is not
Yeah.
doing good. And then
Oh no.
yeah, it's going okay, but I think I might have to like put some like some work in. I thought, if I just stick to one keyword, upload every day, same time.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not even a month deep yet. I mean, I'm probably still like thinking too early, but I might have to like start doing the DM, start going like grinding the DMs, maybe 10 a day or something, just seeing if I
Ooh.
can see if I can boost it that way. But yeah, it's still kind of slow.
Yeah.
The thumbnail switches helped a little bit. I got like
Hmm.
mate, I don't know why it still feels good, but I got a 1 out of 10, and it was like 50 views. It's like,
I
so
hear that.
yeah, but no, yeah, I've just been working on that, and then I've started a new kit, like an 808 kit, and
Hmm.
what else? Yeah, just filming. Had to do a couple sponsor videos this week, and then yeah, outside of that, just normal shit. So
I hear that.
yeah,
With your type beat channel, do you know if the DM stuff is still working? Like, are producers still doing that kind of method?
I think so. Yeah, apparently, from what I've heard, I spoke to a guy in my community, but he doesn't do that because he's been doing it for ages. So he can just upload and they'll sell. But
Hmm.
yeah, I spoke with another guy in the community, and he's been selling beats that way. I watched there's a DJ Payne One interview, like a fairly recent interview from a guy that's making a living, and he's pretty much just doing the DM method. And then I
Wow.
was supposed to speak to another guy called Control Beats, who posts a lot of like type beat content on YouTube. I'm still waiting for him to get back. He said he was down to have a little chat, but I haven't heard back from him since. So you need to hit him up and have a little conversation about it. But yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting for people watching because I'm not promoting it at all. I want it to just be like
Hmm.
solely just just let the
Supernatural.
yeah, because otherwise I can just inflate the numbers by just sending email blasts and just sending producers to the videos basically. So yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. Are you still thinking about doing yours?
Nah, bro. Literally, I've pretty much really cut out everything.
Mm,
Like, I focus on videos and content and then electronic music. Like
mm,
like the tracks I've been making is probably more like techno hard groove. So that
mm-hmm.
kind of thing, I'm just kind of locked in on those two things only. I'll
Right.
make drill beats and hip hop beats if someone asks me or if there's a purpose or I'm doing it for a video. But
Yeah.
aside from that, I'm kind of really locked in on this. I'm really just not. I'm not trying to do anything else because I feel like I've always spread myself too thin. And while I have the chance to just really go after it, then I might as well just give myself that chance. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of
I hear
doing
you,
that for
man.
now, man.
Yeah. I think
I
it comes
haven't
to a
really
point.
even.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like I wanted to drop a drum kit kind of soon because I've got loads of new sounds, but I was like, it's gonna it's gonna take a lot of time. So maybe like next month I can focus on it.
Mm,
But yeah, I'm just really trying to just laser focus in on one thing and see how that goes, rather than
yeah.
like doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that.
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. I feel like that. I mean, we've been doing it for a little while, but I know what you mean. Like you kind of hit that point where I don't know. You just pick up too many side hustles. Technically, like kit, so like running a kit site, making content, making
Mhm.
short form content. Then you're doing emails, website, making courses, doing community. There's like all these different things you want to do, and
Yeah,
then everything just gets diluted. So yeah, it makes sense to just go
yeah.
back to go
I've
back to the
always,
basics.
I, I guess, as like YouTubers slash producers, that's kind of how it is for us. You just kind of have to do it in order to just maintain everything, really, or
Mm,
even not even just maintain, but to grow. And like I said, I've always done that. But I just want to see what happens when I just laser focus on one thing and see what results I
mm,
can get.
yeah. So are you going to be
So it's like a little
releasing?
experiment.
Yeah. Are you going to be releasing um like house music now, like under your name, like a lot more of that stuff then, if that's what your main focus is?
Yeah, that's the plan. But I'm not gonna. I'm kind of just taking it a bit casually at the moment. Just dropping some stuff on SoundCloud for fun. Nothing like crazy. I'm just trying to stack up on tracks as well.
Mm.
But also, I don't want to say too much because I'm gonna be I'm gonna put it all into a video so it all makes sense at some point.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. So did you get any questions from the guys? From your IG? I got a
Yeah,
few.
I got a bunch of questions. Let me
Yeah,
check.
yeah, I got some as well.
If you got yours open, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I guess we can just do one each, like just do one each, just kind of bounce back and forth. Um,
Q&A time.
Q and A. Okay, here's one for you. Opinions on the
Hmm.
new Logic Pro 11.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think, honestly, this is gonna sound wild, but it solidified that I'm not going anywhere. There was a time when I thought, let me try Ableton, let me see what he's saying, even though I can't really be bothered and it's all long. But slight curiosity. But now I found a way how to make it kind of sort of act similar to Ableton. It's like, no, I'm never leaving. I
Yeah.
got my process down. My workflow has got super fast. I'm not even gonna lie
Mm.
to you. Yeah, maybe 2 days ago I was making a beat and I was like, "Fucking hell!" I just done that process so fast. This is too sick. I'm never leaving this again. And every day I'm learning more about Logic. So
Yeah.
no, I like it a lot. I feel like there's definitely stuff that can be improved, like always, in it. Someone mentioned in my comments, it's crazy how in Logic Pro X you still can't just search for a plugin, just like type and search, which is a good point. Something as basic as
Mm.
that would be really, really clutch. But yeah, I
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
a good point.
I guess you can say like I'm a Logic fanboy.
Mm. No, I hear that. I hear that. To be fair, like when I used it that one time, and it was Logic Pro X at the time, but it was fine. Like I could use Logic for, like to cook up with. I think like it wouldn't be a very hard transition. I don't think it's quite
Yeah,
natural. Like it's all very well laid out, and it's just very easy to navigate. So yeah, I do get that. The
but
only thing I
also,
think I don't hear from it is like the soft clipper, just the drums. But that's the only thing.
yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing that would be nice to add a soft clipper. There's
Mm,
definitely like a few little points that could be improved for sure. But also, this is just personal preference in it. I don't really feel like FL or Ableton or any of the other doors are necessarily worse or better.
yeah,
Just
no,
what
I
works for
agree.
me, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Um, do you feel like YouTube has helped or hindered or not affected industry success?
Um, I don't think it's really affected it. I just think like I guess the focus kind of just shifts, doesn't it? Like um, initially I was wanting to do industry stuff, and
Hmm.
I kind of made content just to kind of build my own thing almost like as a separate thing. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think just the YouTube stuff kind of took over, and I think just that lifestyle suited better because I can still be around my family. I don't have to travel as much. Um,
Yeah.
you kind of have a lot more control over everything. but it's I don't know. I don't think it would hinder anyone. It just depends on what you want to do. Like take is it Carvey for example? Like he's killing it with placements and he's killing it with content. So you can definitely do both, and neither one could hinder. In fact, I think both of them together is like the perfect combo if you can do both. So
Hmm.
yeah, what do you think?
I don't think it's hindered. If anything, it's probably benefited me
Mm,
because just the perception of numbers, I think, I'm not gonna lie, like certain people get gassed about that and they think that, oh yeah, like he's the guy, I want to work with him. Or even just being able to put out a video, you don't know who's watching, but somehow you've made an impact to someone and now they want to work with you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's definitely helped me get into like certain rooms and connect with certain people that maybe if I didn't have a following or I didn't make an impact with a video, I wouldn't have been able to.
yeah,
I would have
definitely.
like maybe had to rely on my placements or my name within the industry, which I don't really have.
Hmm.
So it's definitely helped for sure. I'm sure there might be some people as well that might look at it and be like, build a perception about you like, oh, he's just a YouTube producer. He doesn't really know how to work in the studio and make beats. He doesn't get
Yeah.
placements, so he's kind of trash.
Hmm.
But for the most part, I think it's been very positive for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you think that 2023 year would have been as
Hmm.
successful as to like getting people in the studio if like we didn't have channels or like we didn't have social almost social status, I guess.
Nah, I think it would be tougher.
Mm.
I think would have been tougher. I definitely feel like having some sort of brand helps for sure.
Hmm.
But also, I think having a studio played a big part. Being
Yeah,
able to have a place where people come and record for sure.
yeah, definitely. Do you feel like have been? I think I've already spoke about this, but like when you move from Cockfosters to Piccadilly, do you think that affected
Hmm.
sessions? Do you feel like more rappers were likely to come through to Cockfosters over Piccadilly?
I'm not too sure about this. I was thinking about that. In Cockfosters, we had way more sessions,
Mm,
I think, than Piccadilly, right?
I
But
think so. Yeah.
I don't know if it was because of the move or maybe we was just more on it at Cockfosters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's hard.
But then
It is a
again,
hard one.
also being there because there was just so many people that you could just bump into and network with and stuff like that.
Mm,
I don't know if rappers were like, I don't know. It's very like yes and no. And the reason why I say this is because I speak to some of those artists, and some of them was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Cockfosters because one is too far, or because there's a lot of people there is too bait, and they don't want to be there
yeah,
because it gets political. They might bump into someone who's from the other side, and they don't want to deal with that.
that's
And
true.
but then you also get some artists who don't want to come to Central London because you can't drive, or it's very hard to find parking. Something as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
And even though like it's a central point and anyone from London can kind of get there, it's still long because there's just hella traffic coming into the city too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I guess they both have their strengths and their own weaknesses. I know what you mean. I know
Yeah.
what you mean about the bait thing because I guess like only rappers that would like either fuck with each other or just wasn't part of any kind of side. Each side would only come in. You kind of, I guess, you kind of almost not killing that connection with anyone on the like who doesn't want to be around certain people, but like yeah, those people don't want to
Hmm.
be in that area, so you kind of or automatically not you kind of cutting those connections.
Yeah, and sometimes there would be times where we would have a group chat of all the producers and everyone who's in the studio, and we'd have to put in like, oh, so and so's coming, and
Mm,
if that so and so is like gang affiliated or has problems with other artists, it's just to let us know, okay, if he's coming at this time and we bring in someone who's like on the opposing team, just try and space it out or just be aware of it basically so we
yeah,
don't have to have any unnecessary confrontations. But to be fair, I never had any issues in the studio. I don't know if anyone else did, but yeah, I didn't come across any of those kind of problems, luckily.
yeah, 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 fair. All right, let's jump to one. What else have we got? Um, best strategies for sorry, best strategies for part-time producers to make it full-time.
I think you got to figure out a way to make money in it. There's so many different lanes that you can
Yeah,
do with making money. So that's selling beats, selling sample packs. Could start a YouTube or just social media in general, but it's not really immediate. It takes time to build up an audience and then eventually sell them like a product or brand partnerships. There's being like a more of like a session producer where you charge people for your time as you're engineering them and making them a beat, like in a studio. Might be more difficult because you, if you're working at the same time, you just have to balance that out. What other ways is there to make money as a music producer? Publishing, but that again, that's just a build up over time. As you
yeah,
get more
sync.
placements, you just got to keep building that up.
Yeah, sync licensing. Um, there could be there's people that make money just doing like almost like freelance work. So like you hire them to make you a beat or like a certain amount of beats, like a few beat revisions, and you just get paid. You know, beat for beat. You don't really have like a catalog of ones that you can license non-exclusively. You just have you just have clients
Yeah,
that you just work with like that. Um, what else? There's loads of other things as well. Like it doesn't have to just be music. If you want to do music full time or like just not work a normal job, then you can do a bunch of other stuff like graphic design, sound design for other producers, edit, make short like edit short form content or like YouTube videos for other producers, thumbnails. There's like a whole
yeah.
other
I
under.
think if you
Sorry,
could,
go on.
oh no, my bad. All I was going to say is that for that producer who's asking, whatever he's the best, like really really good at, or that he enjoys the most. So, for example, let's just say he's really, just as a quick example, he's really really good at making samples. Then he should probably just hone in on that and
Mm-hmm.
and start selling samples.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think yeah, it just depends on what you want.
Just be
Like whatever his
useful,
gut.
basically, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, just whatever your gut's
you be
telling you, I
useful.
guess.
Just try and provide value somehow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I would say like whatever one you do decide to do, I'd say I'd say content still is like the priority to push whatever you want to do out because you can maybe figure out a way to make money just by doing client case to case, client to client, just through doing cold emails and DMs and messages in that way. But like you still need to kind of build up your own brand and your own catalog so that when people do check you out, you have you have like a really good leg to stand on, and it's kind of almost like I don't know, you're just showing your worth through your own through content. So content as well as whatever you want to do, whatever you're doing, use content to kind of push that out a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah,
That question is kind of hard to answer without knowing the person's situation.
yeah, you need more details,
For
really, don't you?
example, like if I said to him like, "Oh man, get maybe just build a quick studio or just something that you can record artists with and then charge them per session." But if you're doing that in a small town in the north, then it's going to be hard to get clients. But if you're in London, then it's not easy, but like it's super possible because there's so many
Yeah,
potential clients there. So like it'd be it's easier if like we knew his situation. Then I can really like this is just some ideas you should do. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. It's a hard. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like when people ask that question, it's like you're not giving enough context. Like, yeah, you need where you're living, what your living situation's like, what you actually want to do.
How much do you
Well,
need to earn?
yeah, like what you need to earn, like what your gut's telling you want to do specifically, not like I just want to do music because that's like a huge umbrella. And then yeah, like how much time you've got in the week to make it happen. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, so we got.
All right, my turn.
Hmm.
Um, Trying to find the best ones. Do you think starting full length YouTube videos in 2024, not tutorials, is a good idea?
Not tutorials.
But just long
Uh,
videos in general?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, there's all like I don't think the opportunity to grow has changed. Like there's always been the opportunity. I think, but just nowadays you just got to be a bit more strategic with it. I think we kind of got lucky in the beginning because we could kind of float about in terms of like the style of the content and like maybe like what we were doing because we kind of started off just beat making and then we kind of went into tutorials and then you were doing like the sessions and then I started just chatting a lot of shit on the camera like doing like vloggy kind of style and then yeah, you just kind of floated about. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable nowadays. You just gotta find find your niche and find one that people actually there is actually a demand for. Even if there is some competition, still definitely ways to break through. I mentioned it like in a podcast a few maybe like a month ago now. On that website, it's called One of 10, and that's a really good website to like find if you get a rough idea as to what you want to make, and then go to One of 10, and then find videos that work for smaller channels but still do really well, and kind of just use that formula. Um, then that's probably a good place to start. But yeah, for the most part, it's definitely doable. What do you think?
100%, for
Mm.
sure. I mean, I see new YouTubers pop up all the time, every day.
Hmm. Yeah.
Different kinds of content, but long form in general. Yeah, definitely. You just got to be. I can't really say like what works because for everyone it's different.
Hmm.
You just have to like get in where you fit in, make content
Mm.
that resonates with people. Like you said, that there's a demand for, and kind of just figure it out. Do you know what I mean? I know that
Yeah.
sounds kind of like a blanket statement, but the more like you do, the more you do YouTube, usually the better your videos become. Sometimes you just have to go through like the process of uploading, figuring out what works, what doesn't, and finding your voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. There's that, and then
Damn, my
I
battery
think your
just died.
camera's just
Let me
gone.
switch that.
Yeah. I'd say another thing is like just I wouldn't think a lot of people go into it thinking of like the outcome, like oh I want to have like a shitload of subscribers or I want to be making tons of money. But that's a good long term goal to have. But like you really want to go into it in the right mindset, not like short term in terms of like oh I'm gonna just blow up in like a month or you're expecting to get all these numbers in like a very short period of time. Just go into it with no expectation and not even expecting like super big growth initially. You just want to go into it thinking like I want to make this style of content or I'm very happy to make this niche of content for the next 10 years um, without any expectations because then it takes all the pressure off you make having to make a really good video. You can just crank out content and then over time you'll figure it out. So yeah, don't go in that go in with that mindset of thinking things are going to happen overnight. So yeah, right. Let's find another one. Ba, 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 ba. Well, this is a good one. When do you think you guys would stop doing YouTube?
I don't know if I will. It's hard to say. At the moment, I have no plans on ever stopping YouTube or anything like that. Maybe there might come a time where I might need to slow down a little bit and put my focus elsewhere. But I have no plans to not upload on YouTube. To be honest with you, it's not. There is no exit strategy for me. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy YouTube. To be honest, like I'm a proper YouTube consumer as much as I am as a creator. I watch a lot of. I would say I listen to at least a lot of YouTube videos. I watch quite a few every day
Yeah,
for entertainment, for research purposes, for learning stuff. So like I'm a fan of the platform. It's just some like a part of me in a way, like something I do. So I don't know. I don't have any plans to ever really stop. The day I
Mm,
stop loving it, maybe. But
yeah.
even that, that's just like an emotion that comes in waves. Sometimes you really enjoy doing YouTube, and sometimes it becomes a bit of a chore and you're not really enjoying it. But yeah, like I said, not really an end goal. What about you?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, same here. It'll take a lot to like stop completely uploading. I think yeah, you're right, like it does come in waves, like the last maybe like from February backwards to like October time, I just really wasn't feeling it. Numbers were like tanking like crazy. Nothing I was doing was working. But like I always feel like that's just a like a mental test almost. You just gotta power through. Like, you just really do have to
Yeah.
power through. Like, that's where people either stop completely or just or do power through. And yeah, it kind of I feel like YouTube's a good way to kind of hold you accountable, like keep you disciplined and stuff. Especially if you want to do something creative, because like how many people do you know that say they want to do something creative, but they only do it when they're feeling up to it, and it's only like they have like a crazy month of making stuff, whatever it is, music, any other niche, but then they just go off for like 6 months. So yeah, it's a good way to keep you disciplined, good way to keep your tools sharp. So yeah, I don't see anything stopping anytime, unless something like really big came up, or like I was kind of like switching into a different like pocket of of just making a living, like real estate or like some kind of different business, then maybe. But
Hmm.
yeah, same as you, man. I don't really have any reason to stop. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not really on the cards. And I gotta say, in terms of platforms for creating content, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you can even say
Hmm.
Twitter and LinkedIn. My favorite is definitely YouTube. I
Yeah,
prefer making like long form content, YouTube videos over Instagram or short form stuff, you know?
definitely. I feel like from a consumer's perspective, YouTube, you I don't know, you stick in people's heads more if you're like coming from YouTube, because I don't know, do you not feel that way as well? Like I remember a lot of people that I watch on YouTube, but I couldn't even tell you who
Yeah.
I remember from TikTok and Instagram. I just save them and then show them to people. Don't even check who it's from, like what the page is or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess it's harder to build a connection through short form because it's so
Mm.
quick
Yeah.
and you just I guess when you're on YouTube, it's a bit more intentional. When you're watching a video, you're kind of a bit more invested. Like you're there locked in for even if it's 2 or 3 minutes. But
Hmm.
even in short form, for me, I'm not really locked in. It's kind of like maybe I've got nothing to do, so I'll quickly just like browse through. But
Hmm.
like I'm like half in, half out. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. You're not looking for anything specific. You're just there to waste a bit of time, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, all right. Is it your turn?
my turn or your turn? My turn, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. I guess when it comes to the edit, we gotta
Yeah,
chop
yeah. I
this
think it
flipping
cuts the
part out.
silences out.
All right, I've got this question quite a bit in different ways, but for the most part, the question is, what advice would you give to a producer just starting off? What would you do? And I'll combine it with, what would you do if you had no following, no online presence? How would you get started?
Again, it's the same as that other question. Like, how do you turn it from part time to full time? It's like you need more context. But I guess first off, you gotta just decide what you want to do, what you actually want to do. Like, is your gut telling you you want to do music through content, or is your gut telling you you don't want to sell type beats? And it doesn't matter if it changes over time, but just make a very stern decision on what that is to begin with. And it can be anything. There's no right or wrong. But yeah, make that decision to begin with. Something that like your gut is like ready to go like all in on, and something that you actually see a fairly like clear path as to what you actually need to do. Because like there's plenty of content, like a lot of stuff's already been done, pretty much everything's already been done, so you can always there's always people that can tell you how to do it, you know, either through YouTube or just paid video courses or anything. But yeah, make that decision first, and then you just gotta I'd say take inspiration from the people that are like the authority in whatever niche you're wanting to go into. So if you're selling type beats, then you know, study your type beat channels. If you've got money to offer, it might even be worth just hitting up some of these guys that I've got successful type beats and just say like, can I have like half an hour of your time? I'll give you a couple hundred for literally just half an hour. I just got a bunch of questions I want to ask, um, and just try and avoid making like the silly mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, but just get the best info you can, and then just make a start, honestly, and just crank out content. So yeah, again, if it's type beats or like YouTube content, then start with your YouTube tutorials, start with some YouTube content, and then just like over time you'll figure out like what you want to make and what people resonate with. So for example, with me, I started off making just literally making beats on camera. Um, didn't really just didn't really know what I was doing. All I knew in my gut is that I wanted to like make content and you know make money from beats. So yeah, started off doing that. I was collecting emails, sending beats out to rappers any way I could, grinding that out, and then making YouTube tutorials. And honestly, just over time, things just started to build up. But maybe like some tangible advice I'd say is to like give away a lot of free stuff in the beginning, free drum kits, free loop kits, free type beats, free just anything free. Um, Give that away, and just like that's a really good way to kind of get your foot in the door with a lot of people in terms of like people remembering who you are. Um, but yeah, honestly, man, I mean that's a lot of wishy washy advice, but I'd just say just make a start really, and and just crank it out. Really, that's all you got to do is just keep at it. What would you say?
To be honest, I feel like you pretty much nailed it.
Mm,
Pretty much said everything that I would do.
yeah,
I think is when you're starting, it's honestly the most exciting time because it's like
yeah,
it's a blank canvas and you get to decide what's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? And
mm-hmm.
you can really whatever you envision yourself with, whatever your end goal is, and you might not even know it, but if you do know it, then you can kind of work backwards from that and put your steps in. And if you don't know how, you can try and look at what other people have done and not necessarily copy, but just take inspiration, like you said, do what they've done, but do it in your way. That's totally
Mm-hmm.
fine. But
Yeah,
a lot of times it's just you just got to keep putting your foot in front of the other, and then you'll cross the bridge when you get there. I know a lot of people think like,
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna put type beats out, but what if someone steals my beat? Then how am I
I
gonna
know.
like
Yeah.
why you don't need to worry about that. Just put the type beat out, and if someone does steal your beat, then we worry about that when it happens. But if it
Mm,
hasn't happened, then we don't need to worry about it. We just need to get in motion because momentum is just the most important. And like you said, it all sounds like wishy washy, you know, typical advice, but it's true. Like get the
literally.
momentum going, keep moving one foot in front of the other, and just stay consistent. And something will happen, innit? Even it might take 6 months, it might take 5 years. Do you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah,
long as you're moving forward, you're moving forward.
exactly. That's literally it, man. That's literally it. I think what maybe even give any tangible advice because I'm assuming it'll be either content or type beats. There's only like that's like the two main lanes, I guess. Sync licensing and all that. But to be fair, it's tangible for anything. But just yeah, like you say, just back engineer what people are doing that works. Like really, and actually genuinely back engineer it. Don't just like look at something and just like for like 10 seconds and then move on and try and do something yourself. like if you really want to do something, what if you can see someone that's doing exactly what you want to do, sit down and like really study them like in very fine detail. You know, if you like Ocean's videos, just go to Ocean's channel, take a look at one of his videos. Okay, how did he do his intros? How many how many cuts were made in that video? How many times did it jump back and forth between like the studio and the screen recording? You know, how long was the video? Like every single detail. Like make a whole list of all of those notes, and then go ahead and do it yourself, and then do it in your own way. You know, in your own in the way that you find suits you best. But yeah, like Ocean said, man, one foot in front of the other. Just keep going, and just don't stop. That's the key.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what is your opinion on artists? What does that mean? Going from streaming. Uh, what do you think about producing music? No. Okay. What? Which three plugins do you consider goated?
Plugins. Ooh. This is a tough question. Channel EQ, the stock one in Logic Pro X.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think like what do I use every single time? Sound shifter by Waves,
Yeah, definitely.
and
That's a good one.
it's not the best reverb, but it's the most consistent. I know exactly what I'm gonna get. Valhalla reverb.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. It's a good list.
What would you say?
Sound shifter definitely. I use that in every beat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Stock soft clipper. That's just
Oh
goated
yeah.
for yeah. That's just goated for FL. Like you can make a beat and not even really level it in the actual mixer. You can just make the beat and then bounce it, and it sounds as long as it's you know you kind of adjust the volumes as you're making the beat naturally. Like the beat's going to sound hard. So does that soft clipper way sound shifter?
Surely the
Um,
EQ, right? How do you live without an EQ?
yeah, EQ, like yeah, but then it's got to be like
You know
top
what's
10.
wild?
But
The EQ, I never knew about an EQ until maybe about 2 years into making beats. So all my early beats, I wasn't EQing anything. It was
yeah,
just turning the volume up or down.
hmm
Mad.
it is mad, isn't it? It really is. Yeah, EQ is just so staple, man. I was the same as you for a good while, and then when I looked at the mixing stuff, I went like way overboard. I was like putting EQ like whenever I finished the beat, I'd put an EQ on everything
Mm.
without even like thinking about it, and then just adjust every sound, even if it didn't need adjusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like top three. You can't just have three goated plugins. I think you need like at least seven,
What about
maybe.
gross beat?
Yeah, halftime RC20. Um,
Yeah. I don't use
yeah,
RC20 anymore, but there was a period of time where I used it on everything.
yeah,
Absolutely everything.
yeah. There's like that branch of plugins. There's RC20, Sketch Cassette. There's the
Mm.
Cymatics one, Origin,
Audio reels.
Audio Reels. Um, yeah, just anything that makes it sound detuned is like a goated plugin. Uh, I think it's your turn. I think I've got some different ones in here. Um,
I gotta be honest.
what's that?
The other questions are pretty much like very similar to what we've kind of answered,
With
to be
audio?
honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a
Hmm.
few different ones. I posted it in my, like the channel broadcast. I posted it in there as well. What would you say? What would you say is the hardest part of music production?
Oh, the hardest part of music production. It's a really, really tough question. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
There
it's
isn't
tough.
one thing that really sticks out to me.
What about like not just you, like what if you're like engineering a session?
If it's not just music production, but actual like making a song and being in a session with a studio in the studio with an artist and that kind of thing, then yeah, engineering because it's my weakest spot and I've spent in compared to like beat making a lot less time. But
Hmm.
just in terms of like music production, I can only really say sound selection, but
Mm.
I don't think it's difficult. I just feel like you just got to find the right sounds for your taste, innit?
Yeah,
And for whatever you're making.
yeah, I guess so. I feel like there's always certain things like you don't even think to even try when you've been making music for a while, when you kind of find your own pocket. But maybe like I'd say,
Yeah, you find.
yeah, maybe I'd say like automations and like really getting like nitty gritty with the
Mm,
sonics of a song. Maybe like how EDM there's like always crazy automations like filters and stuff that come in and out, and we don't really do that, do
yeah.
we? With our production, we just kind of make a nice melody, drums, and then arrange it.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe automations is probably like a weak spot where we can really like make it sound pleasing to the ear. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, outside of that, everything's kind of straightforward, isn't it?
pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Hmm. Let's see what else we got. I mean, we've both kind of done this, but can you guys make a beat and then rap and sing over it? Would you do it
I've
again?
done it. I'm not doing it ever again, though. Nah, fuck that. I'm just
Fuck
not
that.
meant to be a rapper or singer. Do you know what I mean? It's not for me. It's not in my cards, unfortunately. I'm not good at it.
Do
You're
you
good at
think?
it.
Do you think if like you just
Where's that?
went at it,
Hold on. Where's that song? Where's the song that's been meaning to drop for time now?
it is dropping. I'm gonna be once. Well, I've pretty much
When?
been. What is it? May this? It's May, isn't it? I'm thinking end of July. I need to set a date, and actually, I just need to upload this song and then
Bro,
set it
you have to
to
set a
drop there.
date.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this weekend. But yeah, it's gonna drop. Uh, it's gonna drop. Like the video is pretty much edited. I just want to like polish it up and stuff. I just need to get everything ready. But yeah, it will be dropping. Um, but yeah, do you
It's
reckon
been a long time,
it's been very? I made the song in November,
like 10 years ago.
November 2022. I think it's
Mm.
2022. I made it, and I've just been sat on it for fucking ages. It's probably ever do. I don't expect it to do well or anything. I just need to put it out. But yeah, that'll be dropping soon. But I was gonna ask, do you think if you'd like not deep, I guess maybe deep tip, but like really spent a month, like 2 3 months, maybe making a song a week or something, do you think you'd start to get
Yeah,
into it?
definitely. Look, definitely. I think with any, just like anything, the more you do it, hopefully you should get better at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have it within me. If I really wanted to, I could rap, but I don't really have any interest in it,
Mm.
and I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like when I'm on the mic and I listen back to it on the door, and I'm just like, it's not right. Like it don't feel right. Something's just not. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
doesn't have the minerals.
I hear you.
So nah.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
If I could, I would though. If I was a sick rapper or a really really good singer, then I would do it.
Mm.
But I'm not, so I produce.
Yeah, maybe like you could just be in a whole nother lane with it. Maybe like you can make jungle or something, just something that's not like typical rap or like typical singing. Maybe it could just be something really alternative.
Mm,
Maybe stuff be like the house, the techno stuff. It's not like you're
mm.
not like the main vocals, but like part of the instrumental. Maybe who knows? But yeah,
Yeah, just like a phrase or something like that, like a splice vocal.
yeah, yeah. Um, fire. What we got? What is what's the best way to go about getting your music to artists?
Reach out, DM,
Yeah.
send them your stuff. But realistically, I still think just putting yourself out there online is probably the best way to go about it, and hopefully build an audience, but also just build a buzz for yourself and people will start reaching out to you. You can reach out to people and maybe your response rate is like 20%, which is still all right. You can thrive off that if you make the right connections. But maybe if you went about it the other way and started building a buzz for yourself, people who reach out to you, you have the leverage.
Mm,
And that means that they're really interested in working with you. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think probably a mixture of the two, right? Maybe you start off grinding the DMs,
for sure.
grinding just like interaction, and just grow that way. I honestly believe, and I know I've done it myself because this is why I believe it. You can genuinely build 10k. You can get 10k followers in like 3 months if you really grinded it. I bought this like ebook on how to just kind of like do it that way, and it's doable. You just really have to like grind it. Um, Maybe I'll give you like the way. Well, basically, it was saying find a list of like 10 to 20 people that are authorities in your niche. Between like 10 and 100k followers in your niche, and then just write them down, and then every day go through their recent posts and look at all the commenters, and then people that are interacting with their stuff are active Instagram users. So you're not just attracting bots. Just go into all their pages, follow, like, comment, um, and just rinse and repeat. And just hit as many as you can every day. I think there's limits to Instagram, but like it works on every platform. It's a bit of a grind, but it's a good way to like
Yeah, that
yeah
definitely sounds like a grind.
yeah
I feel like you can definitely, yeah, for sure. You can definitely just grind it out.
mm,
But the best use of your time is probably just to build yourself. Do you know what I mean? Become that person that people really want to work with, because then it becomes a
mm,
lot easier for yourself.
100%. Yeah,
Grinding out that thing will be good for like 3 months, but for 5 years of doing that,
yeah. No, it's not
it
a
won't be
it's not a sustainable
sustainable.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
But if you work on yourself and your brand and putting yourself out there for 5 years, then yeah, that is sustainable.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you don't know what kind of opportunities that could come from that. People that you would never have expected to work with, or people who you've always wanted to work with, somehow come back around and want to work with you.
Yeah, exactly. I guess maybe for us it'd be like SX, working with SX, because we were both,
Yeah, so
you know,
many full circle moments. I think
yeah,
I've had
exactly.
many full circle
Chipmunk,
moments.
Chipmunk session, that was a big one. Um, a lot of the sessions we did last year, to be fair, were pretty big. So, but yeah, definitely, man. Like, what was this? What was I even talking about? Yeah, just working on
Like
yourself.
basically help them get your music to artists and that.
Yeah, just grind it out to begin with, because what you do don't you if you literally don't have any influence or like any kind of, I guess, online presence, then it will take a good 2, 3, 4 months of just grinding it out, interacting. But don't lean on that. That's like the initial way to get the ball rolling, and then yeah, just make sure you're just cranking out as good a content as possible, working on your music constantly, but just putting it out there. So yeah, that's the best way.
Mhm.
What else do we have? Favorite 808?
That's such like a typical producer question, isn't it?
Literally,
The spins.
Vin's probably the most versatile because it works on Wheezy style beats, it works on like up tempo beats, Detroit rap, hip hop, like it works
Mm.
on everything. I would actually, one thing I would say about 808s is that I've noticed a lot of rappers that you would expect to be rapping on 808s don't rap on them anymore. Like Gunna's latest project. Have you listened to his new album?
Nah, what's it saying?
it's all right. It's chilled. Like it's not like lyrically crazy, but if you just want to vibe and like have an easy listen to an album, like if you're driving and stuff, it is nice. Like it's a nice album. Beats are good for it, and just classic
Hmm.
Gunna basically. But yeah, like I'd say there's only probably two songs on that entire album where he raps over an 808, like a beat with an 808. The rest of them is all bass guitars,
Which is like normal bases.
yeah, like synth basses, like like Moog basses, just very simple ones. Um, so yeah, maybe the 808's
Maybe we're
finally. Sorry,
yeah. Maybe it's time to move on because to be fair, the spins like it's had a good run,
like
a
10
good
years, 10
run.
plus years, maybe even 15 years. Crazy. But no, I definitely say, well, yeah, spins, but then I would, like we say, I think don't limit yourself to just using 808s because, I mean, I've done that, I did that for the longest time and just keep your mind open for other stuff like, okay, does this need an 808 or will a nice acousticy bass guitar sound nice or like a synthy bass, like distorted bass, just keep your horizons open because you can kind of box yourself in and ruin beat like not pout the best beats if you're just using 808s all the time. What else we got? I think that's pretty much all I've got. The rest of them are very similar, like how to make money. I mean, he's got top five favorite artists of all time.
What's your top five? I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
do you know what? Lil Wayne's got to be in my top five. I always forget about Lil
Ooh.
Wayne, and like I'll listen to one of his old songs, even his new songs, and just lyrically, man, I'll just forget how funny he was, like lyrically, and how clever he was with his lyrics. It was never anything deep, but it was just
Hmm.
so clever, like his wordplay. Um, so Lil
Yeah.
Wayne, 50 Cent,
Hmm.
Drake. Do listen to a lot of Drake. Future. I like
One
Future.
more.
Oh man, fuck. Uh, I don't even know. It's a toss up between a few like Young Thug, Gunna, even singers like Usher. I used to bang Usher like crazy when I was younger.
Yeah, Usher was sick back in the day.
Yeah, he was a hit maker. Nelly, I used to bang Nelly. Akon. There's too many to have a top five. I don't know. It's hard. What about you?
Mm. For sure, Drake.
Yeah, it's got to be in there.
Um, Kid Cudi. When I was younger, I was a huge Kid
Mm,
Cudi fan.
great shout.
Um, Amy Winehouse. I'm a big Amy Winehouse fan.
Nice.
Um,
It's hard, isn't it?
Lenny Kravitz.
Nice.
And then my fifth spot, oh, it's gonna be between Mac Miller or Tyler the Creator.
Mike and Miller, that's a great shout as well. That's a hard one. That's a really hard one to.
I don't want to choose between the two, so it's got to be a six.
Yeah,
Fuck it. Joint top, joint top five, so it's just top six there.
yeah. Fuck it. My girls just tagged both of us in her story. What the hell?
I just wanted to give a shout out to LLB. He's upstairs right now doing his podcast with Ocean.
Sucking helium balloons in.
Check him out.
Oh shit,
Fuck's sake. She's funny.
that's jokes.
Oh man. But yeah. Are you gonna watch the Usyk fight tomorrow?
Oh yeah,
That's a
it's
big
gonna
one.
be like 4 or 5 p.m., 4 or 5 a.m. Sorry.
Ah,
So I
fuck.
don't know. I might just have to catch the replay.
Mm. Oh, that's tough, man. That's gonna be a big one. I don't think it'll be a massively. It won't be like a fireworks kind of fight. I don't think.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it will. Who
Who
knows?
you got on that?
Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a really tough one
Hmm.
because, like, have you seen Usyk fight before? Like, seen one fight AJ and them lot.
I've never seen him fight, but I've just
Mm.
heard stuff in it. Like he's meant to be one of the best.
Yeah, he's really fucking good. But Tyson's really good if he wants to be good. So it just depends on what Tyson turns up. But I don't know, man. It's a really tough one. I've my my gut isn't going with either of them, to be honest. I reckon like I don't know. It just depends who turns up on the night. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait
I
and
hear
see.
that.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be a good fight.
yeah, I'm sure it will be.
I'm more I'm more super locked into the Premier League right now because it's
Oh
going to
yeah,
be the last game of the season and like who's going to win? You know what I
it's looking.
mean?
Yeah,
Man
I had my
City,
boys over and they said
Arsenal,
it's looking
it's
quite
tough.
close. Yeah,
It's super close. Basically, if Man City win their game, they win the league. But if they slip up anyhow and Arsenal win, then it's theirs.
fuck, man.
It's
What are you
very tight.
thinking?
I hope Man City win. I can't stand Arsenal. I fucking hate Arsenal, bro.
Why?
So just for the sake of it, let's have Man City win in it. Four
Mm,
times in a row is just greatness. It's just like
yeah,
their Chicago Bulls era.
yeah, that is true. That is true. Who do you support? Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did they do this season?
Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but good because last season we had a terrible, terrible season. Finished 12th
Mm,
when we was like a top four team, but everything changed. New ownership, new basically a whole new team.
nice.
So this season is looking like we're finishing sixth, possibly fifth. Even though we've had many ups and downs throughout the season, to finish way above what we did last season, I think it's been somewhat of a good season and hopeful for next season.
Yeah, yeah, like a
So
build-in
yeah.
season. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of nice. I remember. Yeah, I hate that. You know, when you see a team that was amazing, and they kind of keep hold of all the old players, and they just slowly decline. But there's nothing else coming through, like no like younger talent or anything.
Hmm.
It's like the worst thing to see because then you know how long it's going to take to build back up again. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. It's a weird one with Chelsea. They've had a lot of up and downs. It hasn't been fun to be a fan when you're used to winning everything and then all of a sudden just it's not
yeah,
looking promising at all. But Man City is by far the best team in the world, in my opinion.
yeah.
They're just too strong right now.
That's why they've been on top forever, Man
And
City.
even teams that come close, even on their worst days or times when you think, oh, they're falling off, they just come back and it's
Yeah,
so it's a wrap.
yeah. My uncle supported Man City like even before they were good. You know, like when Man U were
Yeah,
top
back in the
dogs.
days.
Yeah. So like now he's been just basking in it for the last however long, like
Good
7, 8
times,
years.
yeah.
Yeah,
To be a Man City fan, probably the best thing in the world. Like,
yeah,
it's just too much good times. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Especially
much
if like
positivity.
it's if you especially if you were a fan prior to them getting good. Like I think that's even more satisfying that they're just constantly winning now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's like, well, it's not the same anymore. I think even Golden in the NBA, like the Golden State Warriors, they've kind of fallen off this last couple of seasons. I think that's kind of coming to the end of their big run.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't really know who's going to be the next guys in the NBA. Yeah, but yeah. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we
Oh
should wrap
yeah.
up? Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say shout out to Kyle Beats.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
father now.
he's a dad. Yeah, I did see that. Did you watch the video? I didn't
He's
have a chance to
joined.
watch it yet.
Yeah, I did.
Was it
It
good?
was cool, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool to see. I feel like this year a lot of the YouTube producers have become fathers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. No, that's cool, man. I think it's nice to see like real life stuff every now and then, like authentic stuff. Yeah. You thought about it, like kids or anything, anytime soon?
Me, nah, bro. I mean, like, yeah, eventually. I definitely in the future. I've always said I want like 5 to 8 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I want a big family, but not right now. Absolutely not right now, man. I'm too. in this. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I hear that.
I'm too in the music still. Not
Yeah,
ready to mature up and give myself to a family just yet. What about
yeah,
yourself?
yeah. Same, pretty much. Like, yeah, I don't never want to have kids, but yeah, right now, not like super ready for it. I'd think, yeah, when the time's right, the time's right. Open to it, but yeah, like you, I'm really like just focused on getting this, focused on the music stuff at the minute. That's the main
Yeah,
focus.
man. I know a lot of people say you can do both and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
My mum is always pressuring me like, oh, I need to have a kid, blah blah blah. But I'd rather not.
Yeah, maybe it's the
But shout out
30s.
to all the fathers out there for sure, bro. All the producer dads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It must be a lot harder. Just not harder, but I guess it just forces you to be very regimented with your time, be very efficient with your time as well. Um,
Yeah, from what I've heard, it really it's like another gear. From what I've heard from people who have had a kid, they say it's like it unlocks another gear of work ethic
mm,
because you're not just living for yourself now.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think Jack said that as well, didn't he? Like, we had an interview with, I think it was that session we had at the start of the year, or maybe it was before that.
Hmm.
I can't remember, but yeah, he was just saying like, he just said, um, if you want to be good at music, just have a kid. But he said it so like formulaic. It was just funny. You know how he says things. He's like, just have a kid, mate. It's
Yeah,
easy. Just have a kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
it's
listening to
funny.
a podcast the other day, and he was making a point that if you want to be successful, basically have a kid. He was listing out all these billionaires. Like Elon had 10 kids before he was 30. Jeff Bezos has like X amount of kids. So he's like, if you look at the statistics and you want to be a top earner, blah blah blah, you need to be having kids now. And I'm
Have
like,
kids.
I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's as simple as that, man.
It's not. No, that's fully reliant on like whether you have a solid foundation in a relationship first. You can't just be like, right, you'll do, kid. Cheers. See you later. Yeah, but no, I have to figure this thing out, mate. I have to come up with a new strategy. We ain't got much time left before we're 30.
I hear that.
Yeah, just 1 year.
Nah, nah.
What are you gonna do for your 30th?
Our last years of 30. I mean, sorry,
Hmm.
of 20s.
Yeah, getting
How
old.
do you feel? Do you feel any different?
Not really. I do. I don't feel like I don't feel old. Like I'm still healthy. Go gym. Can still play basketball. Can still run around. Maybe like, yeah. I think that's about it. Like career stuff's going okay. I honestly, if I was to be 100% honest, I thought I'd be a bit further along musically than I am right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, I think yeah, everything's all right. Like still on the right path. Um, yeah, still growing, and we're not even 30, so I think we're still kind of young considering everything. So I
Hmm.
saw a video of Morgan Freeman the other day, and it was like his net worth, and he was in like his 40s, 50s, and he was like fuck all, and then he only started really blowing up in his like mid 50s. So it's like that really opens it up
Yeah.
as to it doesn't happen it might not happen in your 20s, 30s, 40s. So it's quite a good thing for your mindset.
Yeah, I hear that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like before, especially when I was younger, in my 20s, I've always felt like I was quite in a rush. Like, man, I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
There's a part of me still, just a small part though. It's not really massive, but turning 29, I thought, okay, I have a little bit of pressure on me now because I don't know. I'm young, of course, in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not like 25. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And
Mm.
let's say if I did wanna eventually have a family and that, I should probably start thinking about that now to start thinking about like when I'm 35 to 40. You want to make that transition, so you want to put things in place. But at the same time, sometimes I think to myself, like, man, I've been doing music for 8, 9 years now, and I'm still in the game. That's like, I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah,
I'm really,
yeah,
really grateful, and kind of, yeah, just kind of mind blown that like we're still going, and also that if you look at a career over a lifetime, it's like the first decade is down, but you still really got like, if you're lucky, like 20, 30 years to keep going. Like, so,
yeah, yeah,
so you're really
exactly.
just beginning in a way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you
Yeah, I know
said
what
with
you
Morgan
mean.
Freeman
It
in his 50s,
feels.
like we're still
Sorry,
quite
again.
young in that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, I agree,
And
man.
sometimes I think as well, just like, all right, if we think of, I don't know, as simple as this year, like some artists drop an album every 5 or 6 years, which seems in the short term like a really, really long time, especially in today's day and age where things move so fast. When you think about that, that's only like, let's say, going from 25 to 30. That's not that long. Like, that's just nothing. Time goes so quick.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, you're so right, man. I feel like it's. Yeah, yeah, I think you always everyone has that mentality of thinking they need to be in a rush. They need to like get the numbers up straight away, like very quickly. But it really is a slow burner when you actually think about everyone that has become successful. The majority of people that do become success, like that, when you really know about people, there's like 15, 20 years prior of work prior to that before they even hit that moment. You know, like
Mm.
there's the odd case like Justin Bieber, maybe he was like a prodigy, and then Will Smith, maybe he kind of blew up pretty quickly. um and then just a very select few people that have really just hit the nail on the head from the beginning. But yeah, for the most part, like even like the huge figures, they like Kevin Hart. I mean, how long was he in comedy before he blew up? I think he was in his mid 40s. He
Yeah.
was doing it from his 20s.
I think with actors as well, you really see it a lot. Like, it seems like for the first 10 years of their career, it's very silent.
Mm,
But then 10 years deep is when things start to get in motion. Then 15 years in is when it clicks, especially for like a lot of the male actors as well.
yeah.
A lot of them like really get their stride in their mid 30s, 40s.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And even that 10 years is like that's 10 years in the business. Like they've just got a couple. They get the odd gig here and there, maybe supporting roles here and there. But like you even then they're still putting in like maybe 5, 6 years prior to that, just without getting barely any opportunities, just going to maybe open mics or improv sessions and trying to find the right agent. You know what I mean? Like there's like so many long time periods that no one knows about, and before they get to like the
Mm.
point of blowing up, it's like they're ready to blow up at that point. Um, and a lot of the people that do blow up overnight, like actually blow up overnight, maybe like they've been doing music for a month, and like almost like the gold what's it called, oh fuck, what's his name, the song that's like gold all in my chain, gold all in my watch, don't believe
Oh,
me, so much.
is that what, like Trinidad James?
Trinidad James, like he blew up. I think he's only making music for like 3 months, and then he got signed to Rick Ross's
Oh
label or
shit.
something. But like he just came and went. Like nothing really stuck with him. I think he's still doing well. Like he had a bad spell of like depression and stuff, but he's still doing well for himself. But I don't even think he's
Yeah.
in music.
I randomly I actually watched a video, or I was listening to a video of like one hit wonders rappers or
Mm.
people who they considered falling off, and he was on the list. But he seemed to, from the video, I think he bounced back and he's doing like presenting and all this kind of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah,
But that's like why it's, even though he blew up quick, it's even cool that like in the grand scheme of things, a career is very long. Maybe you was a musician in the first 5 years and you bounced and pivoted to something else, but it doesn't mean
yeah,
like it's the end of you. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
Like,
hundred
there's always
percent.
just something that happens. I think we kind of mentioned this with lifestyle, right? There's always the next thing. Just we might not even know it yet. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years. Like we didn't know the podcast was going to
Yeah,
be here. We didn't know we were going to be doing the track clip videos in abroad, doing Europe tours and all this. Like this
yeah,
all just
man.
kind of,
Just got to stay open to it.
yeah, it all just happens on the fly almost. Just got to build up the momentum. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it just takes time, man. I feel like a lot of people forget that. It's just time. Yeah, I know. Like, and even with us, I feel like it does feel like we're still kind of in the early phases. Um, so yeah, long way to go. Long way to go.
For real,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, what are you saying for the rest of the day? You got much on, or you gonna wind down now?
Um, well, I did a YouTube video today, so I'm kind of in the cutting phase again. So I'm just gonna go for a really, really long walk on the treadmill,
Mm-hmm.
burn some calories, and then I'm not too sure about the nighttime.
Nice.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
just bro, I'm just dialed in, bro. This is not a glamorous life right now. It's just doing the same things and staying consistent, and eventually things will happen in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just like a monotonous lifestyle right now for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear that.
What
I
about
hear that.
yourself?
Um, yeah, fairly similar. I've started cutting as well now. I looked in the mirror yesterday. I'm like, right, I don't want to look. I don't want this belly anymore. I've got a bit more strength in me.
Mm,
Arms are filled out a bit nicer. Legs are feeling good. So yeah, I want to kind of dial it back a little bit. Do more cardio. Dial back on the food a little bit. Um, so yeah, but yeah, today, what am I doing today? I need to upload a video that is for Lalal, you know, the voice stem separator
yeah,
company. I've done a video for them. Uh, I need to edit a couple of reels for another spot for that Sonable sponsor, the regular one, and then send them off. Maybe do a bit more filming for the Type Beat video, like an update for that. But yeah, just honestly, yeah, just normal shit really. Try and get to the gym as well for like 1-2 ish. So yeah, that's the rest of my day. Nothing too crazy. Yeah.
all right, cool, bro.
But yeah, I think that's a good time to wrap up, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right, appreciate you guys listening and watching.
All right,
I'll see you guys in the next one.
see you later.
Peace.